Welcome to Unto Deepest Depths, a dark fantasy strategy game that will test your tactical skills and push you to the limits. In this punishing roguelite adventure, you'll assemble a team of brave heroes and guide them through treacherous, ever-changing dungeons. Every decision counts, with turn-based combat that demands precision and foresight. Will you conquer the horrors lurking below, or will the darkness claim your party? Prepare yourself for a challenging journey into the unknown, where only the most calculated and daring survive. Unto Deepest Depths is really straightforward, has pixel graphics, has 5 different units to play around with. They start off with Knight, Mage, Archer, Lancer, and Peasant. So Unto Deepest Depths has a very interesting combat system, where every turn you have to move a character and you have to attack. It's almost like chess, in a way where specific characters can move in specific ways, such as the Archer moving strictly in a diagonal pattern, almost like a bishop. The Knight can move around in a square pattern with a decent amount of range, and the Mage can move strictly one panel left, right, up, or down. The Lancer is an interesting one as it mixes both the Knight's range and a 2-panel reach attack. So with that being said, let's break down every single unit's attack pattern. So the Knight can attack completely in a square all around it, and it has to attack at the end of every turn. The Archer has to shoot up, down, left, or right, while also moving diagonally. The Mage attacks in the widest pattern, but also skips some blocks. So the Mage will be able to hit everything around it and then everything 2 panels further out from it. The Lancer, on the other hand, has the highest amount of health and is able to attack 2 panels from it in every direction. But this also means that it has to attack 2 panels out from every direction. So if you have an ally in front of you and you have to attack the second panel, you will be hitting the ally and the enemy. Now let's talk about the health in this game. Every enemy and every unit that you have has blocks of health. Each one represents a single attack. Doesn't matter where they get hit, how they get hit. Once they get hit, one of those blocks goes down. Once that block goes down, you lose the unit or you only have a few remaining hits left. Now, the Lancer has the highest amount of hit points, decent walkability, decent range. I would say that the Lancer is probably the best unit so far next to the Archer. Now, another mechanic are enemy previews. I really like this mechanic since it shows you where the enemy can go and their possibilities of attacking. So, for instance, the bats can travel very far in specific directions, but they can only travel small amounts in others. And they can also traverse different planes easily, dark depths as well. So, since this game is a roguelite, you will be tasked with going through and having the choice of going through different scenarios. So the scenarios are battles, events, and bosses. The battles, very straightforward. They're different every single time. The more you go on, the more battles you'll face, different enemies, different attack types, so on and so forth. The events are interesting on the other hand, where the events will generate XP, give you different options on how to tackle them, and then you just go from there, ultimately leading you to the boss, which I think is the most unique since the boss had such incredible range and he just looked really good. And I also just think two-handed attacks are awesome, especially like well-animated two-handed attacks. So let's talk about upgrading units. So upgrading your units is, again, very straightforward. Each unit can be promoted to a different class, and each of them has their own skill tree, ranging from doing more damage, getting more health, support archetypes. So it's really interesting, and it gives you a decent amount of freedom to explore and upgrade your units. Now, there's one thing I will say, and that's the XP that you get isn't really that high. I was only seeing like 1 XP after a fight or 2 XP after an event, and that's not really that much for how much it costs to upgrade. Another thing I would say is that I would spend my XP getting another unit, since having another unit balances out a lot of things, and it even provides, I don't want to say fodder, but it is essentially fodder when you get a peasant, and then you just have them take out some other smaller units or be used as a blocker, basically like as a pawn, and you could also promote them into other roles as well. In my final game where I beat the boss, I promoted my pawn into a knight class just to balance things out, have more extra health, be able to move further, things along those lines, and it really promotes a uniqueness in how to tackle each battle. During my first run, I lost at the first stage. No shame in it. I had a Knight and Mage, thought I was going to do good, ended up just destroying my party, which is fine. My second run, though, was very successful with the Lancer-Archer combination. Personally, I do think the Lancer-Archer combination is the strongest so far, just because of the absolute range that you have and being able to just decimate, and it's essentially having a Knight and a Bishop in chess, and they're just bouncing off each other, being able to hit every single time. But this demo is very short, it's unique, friendly fire is obviously activated, and I really like it. I think it has a lot to go for it. I would love to see more from this game. I think so far a really solid build, and I think everyone should really go check it out. So thanks so much for joining me in Unto Deepest Depths. If you enjoyed watching a few of these intense battles, strategic planning, and the thrill of overcoming near impossible odds, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Stay tuned for more future updates, strategies as we delve deeper into the abyss. Until then, sharpen your skills and prepare for the next descent, because in this game, one wrong move could be your last. See you in the depths.